So my name is Mike Dombrowski, and I am the founder of FlowsCycle Logistics. I also founded Eastside Compost, which is a food scrap collection company based in Lansing, Michigan. I founded that about 4 years ago, and so I spent a lot of time talking to other haulers like myself. And one of the questions I always ask is how you manage your customers. A lot of smaller businesses trying to manage logistics and customers. And you get back a lot of interesting discussions and tools are used to manage these customers, right? It's kind of a hodgepodge of Excel sheets and apps, routing apps, and manual moving around of things. There's a lot of room for improvement, basically. And so I ran into some very similar problems when I founded Eastside Compost, right? I had my first customer, I had to figure out how they were gonna pay me. And then as I had more and more customers, I had to figure out which bucket I was gonna get on a given day. I've spent about 15 years in the engineering software world. My first inkling is to go build a software tool to do that. So I built a website which was the first version of what would become FlowsCycle Logistics. So FlowsCycle Logistics, we provide accessible tools to circular economy companies to help them efficiently manage their customers and operations. So anyone, companies like food waste haulers, recyclers, food rescue programs, anyone that has a distributed customer base that needs to move material from a set of customers to some depots or depots back to the customers and likely wants to be paid for doing that could use our tools to manage that efficiently and do it all in one place. So what you do once you have an account with FlowsCycle, you start to have all your marketing efforts drive leads and customers to a page where they can sign up for a service, they can select what they want to do. You as a manager come in and you can start to manage these customers. You can start to organize them into communities for routing purposes so that your drivers know exactly what they're going to do on any given day. And the drivers will come in and they'll see the work days and exactly what the routes are for a given day. This is connected to a payment processor for all the billing, connected to email service so they get nice templated emails. And this is all in one place. So whenever they change their, they log in, they change their account, they request a skip, they want extra buckets, they want extra compost, that automatically flows through down into the driver's interface. I'm happy to give you a demo after this, but this is what the interface looks like. We also have some routing software built into it. So as your customers change, these routes automatically get updated and show up in the driver's phone. They can go through and check the boxes as they go through. Why would you want to do business with FlowsCycle? Firstly, we have a very accessible pricing model. So our initial target is for smaller organizations where they don't have a lot of money for expensive software. So we start at $1 per customer per month. There's no setup fees. And you can basically start managing your business for $0, right? You'll get paid before you ever pay FlowsCycle Logistics. It was built by a small-scale hauler for other haulers. So I use the software every day to manage Eastside Compost. And so we're in there. We see a lot of stuff. A focus on smaller operations, so things like bicycle routing, neighborhood hubs, is all built into the software. And then I have an engineering optimization background, so I have a big focus on trying to make sure that your operations are as efficient as possible, like reducing mileage and reducing energy input into your operations. So we have 2 success stories I can talk about. The first one being Eastside Compost. They were the first customer. My partner at Eastside Compost is MC. One of the reasons he joined Eastside Compost was that he did not have to go chasing people for credit cards. He did not have to figure out what routes he needed to do. He could just show up, do the routes, make compost, talk to people about compost, and move on. So all the minutia of business was taken care of for him with FlowsCycle. We recently onboarded Carter's Compost up in Traverse City. She was a pretty typical customer of having lots of different tools. She's now doing everything with FlowsCycle. So about 4 years ago when FlowsCycle started, it was just Eastside Compost was the only business using that tool. Early this year, I started to generalize it, talk with other haulers, see what their problems were. We onboarded Carter's Compost, and now I'm in the process of expanding. So my ask is I'm looking for other initial partners and customers, anyone that could benefit from a tool like this. I would love to chat and get them onboarded and figure out what their needs are. And then continue with the optimization and adding new features into the product. So that's all I got. Thanks.